Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus. Today we are going to be playing against a bunch of numbers, and he already went first, and he went first with that man-at-arms, and this is an interesting matchup because right out of the bloom, he doesn't really have all the trinkets, I'd say, but he has a very interesting setup on this flatulent. He has Numbing Incense and Brass Bugle, so even though he doesn't have Call to the Absolution, this flatulent is going to be an absolute menace because he's going to be healing like, I don't know, 50 stress, maybe even more than 50 stress with the Endure, and he's going to be taking nothing back, essentially. And he had also just used Bolster, and he has kind of an aggressive setup with this Plague Doctor and Houndmaster, so that's the main reason why I just thought, like, well, his setup is garbage, but considering I'm playing a stress team, this could actually turn out to be a pretty good match. So I'm playing the Old Gold, which is a team made by 135J-Man, my brother, and it has a really interesting setup. It has an Abomination with Monkey's Paw, of all things, and it has a Houndmaster with a Carnival Mask instead of the Crimson Hook. So that's like the two main things. And the overall idea of the team is just to use Bolster, have a bunch of dodge with this Antiquarian, and then just start high rolling the crits with the Festering Vapors and the Houndsary to just take the match essentially and output more stress than your opponent can handle, while your defense is going to be the absolutely ludicrous amount of dodge. And even if they can hit, maybe with the bellows we can debuff their damage and so on and so on. So he's going to be going for that blinding gas. I'm thinking of actually just not even de-transforming with this Abomination and just keep slamming, maybe the man-at-arms actually, just so that Plague Doctor doesn't get to act, because Blinding Gas is a really high valuable ability for him. Because that's minus 20 accuracy, yeah, that's why. That's minus 20 accuracy on the characters that really need accuracy, the Houndmaster and the Antiquarian. So letting him get that Blinding Gas is really bad for me, and if I push him to position 2 somehow, what would happen is that he'd have no abilities to use apart from Emboldening Vapors, but none of his characters are really like characters that want or need Emboldening Vapors, because, I mean, for example, the Houndmaster would like the accuracy, but the plus damage is going to be essentially meaningless. So, yeah, that is a question. What should I go for here? I'm thinking of going for a Slam, but honestly, I just need to get 2 transformations off. So instead, I'm just gonna go for a nice stun on that Plague Doctor. So you can see that my opponent here definitely went all out on the anti-stress stuff, because having a Plague Doctor in position 3 with this kind of setup means that, you know, 9 times out of 10, you're just gonna get pulled by a Bounty Hunter and she's gonna die a horrible death, essentially. And this Flagellant is also gonna have a really hard time not having punished, except against the stress team. This could actually work out, you know, reasonably well for him. So that's going to be another Houndsary, pretty much hitting everyone. I guess he does have 1 commands buff, so well played by my opponent here. He definitely has quite an interesting team, but he's playing it well. He went for that Bolster right away. He went for the immediate command because he does know I have a lot of dodge, and he's just getting kind of a lot of damage with those crits in the Reign of Sorrows. That is only 1 hit, fortunately, but that's still going to be a lot of duty applied on my doggy, which I definitely don't like. Who do I want to go for first? Festering Vapors or Houndsary? Let's go for the Houndsary first, just to apply that bleed, make the Plague Doctor hurt a little bit. I could go for a Hound's Rush, but I'd rather just use Harry. Hopefully I hit more than 1 character. Yeah, we hit 3 this time. There's still only 1 debuff on us, and now it's gone. But yeah, kind of sad to miss all that, especially considering I am running the Carnival Mask, which, unlike the Crimson Hook, actually gives us a bit more accuracy. It gives us +4. I'd still I'd still like 9 times out of 10 prefer the Crimson Hook, because it's more stress, it's more bleed chance, it's more crit. It's overall better. You're sacrificing a lot for the 4 accuracy, but I'm staying truthful to 135J-Man's team. I'm staying truthful to the Old Gold, and that's what we're going to be trying to make work today. So that man-at-arms probably going to go for the Retribution now. Such an action-packed character, because he wanted to go Bolster, he wanted to go Command, he wanted to go Retribution. But he's only been able to actually like just pull it off by the end of round 3, and at this point I already have 2 bellow debuffs on him, so the Retribution is probably not going to matter all that much, especially considering he doesn't even have the shield spike. So we might be just essentially fine here, actually, I'd say, by just continuing to spam those AoEs, because he'll likely do something like 5 damage, unless he gets a big crit, obviously. So it's going to be another Blinding Eyes. Hopefully we resist, because both my characters have pretty high debuff res. We do, but they're both going Afflicted. So Anti-Crane goes Irrational, that's -5 dodge, but I guess it could be worse. We could have gone like Abusive. And yeah, Doggy goes Abusive, but I mean, he's not the dodge-focused character, but still, that means that he's not going to be getting any more dodges now, unfortunately. So typically want to use the Anti-Crane before the Doggy, because once she gets a crit, there we go, she gets a crit, she gets an extra 10 dodge for it, which is really nice, because, you know, Anti-Crane and her dodge can really be kind of a menace. This team has a really good time against Mark and damage teams, especially if they don't have, like, accuracy buffs from a Jester, or if you manage to go first and you just slam their Jester out of position. I mean, you slam the characters in positions 1 and 2, and the Jester goes out of position, essentially. So this is, that's kind of like the kind of teams this shines against, which is kind of interesting, because usually stress teams get kind of rolled by damage teams. Well, everything gets rolled by damage teams, honestly. But yeah, I am at the store here, and there is that riposte, but we're just gonna have to roll for it. Yeah, it does do damage on the riposte. I mean, it would only not do damage if I had some protection. But yeah, that's gonna be our first affliction coming through. He's getting more afflictions than I am, which is kind of scary here, because I'm the one playing the dedicated stress team. I guess he is also playing somewhat of a dedicated stress team. Also, I'm gonna change my skin on the Houndmaster just so he doesn't turn into a white square if he dies. I'm expecting him to die already, and since the color palette was like the 6th, that means that he would just turn into a white square, because, you know, the skin wasn't made for PvP. It wasn't adapted. So that's actually gonna be a redeem, huh? Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a slam. I'm gonna apply some damage on that Flagellant. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the push. You know, Monkey's Paw really isn't helping. I'd much rather have the net in this situation. But maybe I've dodged a few abilities that I wouldn't have if I didn't have Monkey's Paw. I suppose that's gonna be a Hound's Rush. That's just gonna get the kill. Why not go Hound's Harry? I really don't know. I guess he just wanted the extra 5 accuracy, maybe. I'm not too sure why he went for a Hound's Rush and not a Hound's Harry, but I'm definitely not complaining. And yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, doing some damage on that Flagellant is actually good here, because if he drops back down to 0, he's still gonna have to minus healing skills. So this is a fine situation for us. Also, if we kill the Man-at-Arms and the Doggy, he can't win, because that Plague Doctor and that Man-at-Arms don't have abilities for the... No, the Plague Doctor and the Flagellant don't have abilities for the end of the match. So we're just gonna spam those bellows. Hopefully keep doing a bit more stress. Okay, that's some act. Also, we're gonna take everything we can get at this point. That's Paranoid. That could actually be really, really good. If the Man-at-Arms decides to go just an act out and hits one of the other characters, he might get a stun. Paranoid does have the chance of doing that, which would be lovely to see, but, you know, one can hope, I suppose. One can hope. I feel like the Plague Doctor is actually taking enough DOT to fall down to 0, maybe. Yeah, potentially. So, since the Flagellant doesn't have Punish, he decided to bring Endure instead. And since the Plague Doctor doesn't have Incision, even though she clearly just used her knife to stab that Flagellant, even though she doesn't have Incision, that means that if they're the last characters like in positions 1 and 2, we just automatically win the match because they don't have any offensive moves. Which would just be wonderful to see, right? That would be totally wonderful. Okay, he healed the Flagellant. Alright, healed the Flagellant. I could go for a slam, honestly. Yeah, I could go for a slam or I could go for a stun on the Plague Doctor. Both are interesting. Detransforming means I won't be able to transform again, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go for a slam. That is gonna be a tiny heal on everyone else. Oh, it doesn't get the push again. It's a 60% chance. Why do you do this to me, Butcher Circus? Why do you do this to me? At least it's a little bit of extra stress on the Flash, an extra 5 from that Man-at-Arms. Surprised it does 5, because it's actually like the Pit Fighter's Helmet Carnival Mask, like countering the Numbing Instance. Kind of interesting how that works. Yeah, pretty interesting. He's doing a bunch of stress with the other characters. That's like 8 on the Plague Doctor. With a bolster buff, by the way. Yeah, with a bolster buff. Okay, Bellow, we do get 1 dodge. Wonderful, wonderful. We might be able to get a death blow here. It's a 20% chance, I believe. Okay, goes Festering Vapors with that act out. Good, gets another crit, which means we still keep our +10 dodge. but unfortunately we didn't get the death blow. Also, Irrational is minus damage, but it's only minus 10%, which means that even with like one bellow debuff, we'll probably still be able to do damage to the enemy characters, even if they have like 30 prot. I mean, maybe not with 30 prot, but what I'm trying to say is that Fearful and Paranoid would have been... Actually, it would have been better because of the dodge, but it would have been worse because of the damage debuff. Yeah, kind of interesting how that goes. So he's gonna go for a redeem on the doggy this time. Okay, okay. Well, third time's the charm, right? That's what they say usually, so I'm gonna go for another slam. This time we get a crit. Alright, there we go. Now we push him to the back. He heals the other characters for 0 because he's totally dry of healing skills. And right now he can't heal the flash, which means we're gonna have another chance of getting a death blow. And he can't even go for a redeem, so we're probably gonna have 2 chances of getting a death blow on that flagellant. So that means that we're doing pretty darn well here. Pretty darn well. His only way of saving the flagellant at this point would have been to move forward 2 positions with the Houndmaster and then just go for a battlefield medicine on the flash, but I really doubt he goes for something like that. I'm gonna drop a bellow now. I don't feel like I need accuracy buffs, right? I kinda do. Then again, I kinda need to keep stacking these bellows, because if I spend a turn going command, I'm not too sure if that's gonna help. Okay, Rapturous. Rapturous could be good. He could hit himself at that store. He could do some act outs for some stress, maybe hitting another character as well. Rapturous is definitely good for us here, because it is like what you'd consider like the good affliction, because it gives him damage buffs, and you know, the flagellant always gets it, and it kind of synergizes pretty well with him. But it's still an affliction. It can still do a lot of silly act outs. Okay, the Abomination finally goes afflicted, goes irrational. That's really not the best. I've seen irrational Abominations do very silly things today, like an act out oofing himself, really. Minus 80% damage and Paranoid. I wonder if that actually does damage to me. Well, not if I dodge, right? Definitely not if I dodge. But minus 80% damage on Paranoid, because Paranoid's minus 25% damage. I doubt the Man-at-Arms would even do damage with a Retribution right now. He's gonna go for it, obviously. He wants to get the kill and keep the riposte up, but I doubt he even does damage. Yeah, see, it's 0. There we go. I doubt even the riposte stuff does damage, but I'm not too sure if I want to bet on it with minus 60. I'll go for another battle for sure, yeah. Or maybe I should go Festering Vapors first, just in case the Antiquarian dies to an attack or something. Okay, that's the Endure animation. I don't think I've seen that ever, actually. I think that's the first time I've seen anyone use Endure in my entire Circus career, actually. That might have been the first time, because no one uses Endure. It's such a stupid ability. It causes stress on himself, which I guess the Flagellant doesn't mind if he has gone to Absolution, but why would you use this if you could be going Punish or, you know, anything, really? Yeah, we're gonna go for what the plan was. We're gonna drop a Festering Vapors, or not, we're gonna go Flash Powder on the doggy, which, I guess isn't terrible. I guess it's not terrible. The accuracy debuff does get applied, but he does have a lot of accuracy right now, you know, between the Eagle Eye Talisman and that one Emboldening Vapors he used. I feel like this isn't really that useful for me, the minus 15 accuracy, and the strength was kind of laughable, only 17, because the bolster buff, yeah. I would have definitely preferred it on maybe the Plague Doctor, but I don't know, I do have to focus on that Houndmaster, because he's the only one that can pretty much output a lot of stress and damage at the same time right now. Because that Man-at-Arms is going down soon, and if we take down that Houndmaster, we just win the match, so I guess the Antiquarian is probably more correct than I am. Okay, more stress. That Plague Doctor probably isn't dying, because she's gonna take 16 stress. It's gonna be 11 from the Horror, because she'll be at this store. And actually, maybe a little less because of the bolster buff. And 5 from falling to this store, but yeah, she's definitely not dying purely from the Horror and the stress of dropping to that star. And unfortunately, my Abomination is in position 1, which means it might be in my best interest to actually move back right now and go for a Beast Smile. Which is kind of sad here, because that's really not what I want to go for. I really don't want to have to move back. I also want to drop a stun there, but I'm not too sure if that's the best play. Dropping a stun here. I mean, stun chance is 5%, so that's definitely not gonna work. I have to get the kill on the Flash, do I? I don't really. Yeah, let's move back, then we're gonna drop the B-Spawn. I feel like this is gonna be a good situation for us, even though the Flagellant still has 3 Exsanguinates. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have just gone for the kill on the Flash. It would have done extra stress to the other characters, and we might have ensured a victory there with that 50-50. Maybe that was an absolute noob mistake that I just did, but we'll have to see. No, he's going Endure. Oh, the mad person. Instead of moving forward, he's just gonna keep spamming that Endure. I feel like that's a mistake, because if he gets to move forward and drop an Exsanguinate, the match might just be his. Also, Paranoid moved back, which is really good for this Plague Doctor. Yeah, it's really good for the Plague Doctor, because now she can move back again, or Rapturous says no. Really, Rapturous says no to moving forward. I did not know that. Maybe he just refuses to be moved around, I think. I've never seen that happen, actually. That was the first time I've seen that. Okay, I have 2 Bellow debuffs, but I have plus damage, and he doesn't have any protection. So I feel like I should be able to do damage here. Yeah, that's a death blow on the Flash. That's going to be extra stress applied to that Plague Doctor, but that's going to be a heal for 20, jeez. Yeah, that's going to be a heal for 20, 10, and 10, so his characters are kind of like revitalized now because of that Flash. Jeez, freaking Flash. Even without Gauntlet of Absolution, it's still broken. Who thought making a character like that would be a good idea? Well, the thing is, now if he wants to drop a Hound's Harry, he's gonna have to hit into that Repulse. And if he goes for a Hound's Rush, he might just miss, which I love to see. I definitely love to see that. I feel like dropping another Bellow debuff here might be the play. Or maybe going for a guard could also be the play, but I need to do stress. We need to do stress to that doggy as well. Yeah. Okay. Plus 8. Alright. Plus 7. Plus 6. Look at that stress adding up. It's adding up. Okay. What's my opponent's winning chance right here? Well, he still has to do a lot to my Man-at-Arms and to my Abomination if he actually wants to win. So I feel like this is definitely kind of rough for him, because all his characters are at the verge of having heart attacks, and all my characters are still relatively far from it. Okay, yeah, I was thinking of maybe going Take Cover, or maybe even going Flash Powder, but I guess I'm just not gonna do anything with the Clarion. That's fine as well, who cares, right? It's probably like not that bad in terms of act outs, honestly. I've been afflicted since like round 3, and that's the first real bad act out I've felt so far, so I'm not even gonna complain all that much. I'm thinking if I want to get that Plague Doctor down, I'm gonna have to let her tick for a bit, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to do that. So I'm gonna drop a Bellow that's gonna cause potentially 3 heart attacks. No, that's 1 dodge. That is 1 dodge. The act-outs should get him though, I feel. The act-outs should cause enough stress to get him down to 0. And then we can just keep on applying. Also, when did that Flagellant die? Was it last round? Pretty sure it was last round. Yeah, we're gonna count it. I think it was round 7. Okay, that's gonna be... Ooh, a Plague Grenade to Repulsed. Oh, that's not the play. Doesn't do damage, but yeah, that's enough. Wait, it isn't. Only does 7 stress. Are you kidding me? It only does 7 stress because the only plus stress out that he has is from the Crimson Hook, and since the Plague Doctor isn't bleeding, it doesn't actually do enough stress. Okay, that is one wild, what do you call it, interaction that just happened. That was pretty darn wild, but I feel like I might just be able to get a kill here with the Flash Powder. Oh, it's 24 stress, but I feel like the other 2 monkeys are gonna say something. They don't actually, they don't say something. Well, 199 stress, he doesn't really have a way of healing aside from the Plague Doctor, and that Plague Doctor is going down very, very soon to a B-Smile. So you just have to feel like this might not be as close as I thought it would be, because that Flagellant was definitely kind of menacing with that Brass Bugle, healing all that stress and taking only like 10 in return. But the thing is, having a Gauntlet of Absolution would just do that passively, and he could focus on actually being more of a raid boss that we all know and love to hate. We all know and love to hate the Flagellant, right? Okay, Houndmaster, 198 stress, still alive, somehow still alive. Is he gonna get the kill on the Antiquarian finally? He's gonna go for that Hound's Rush, and he finally gets the kill on that Antiquarian. Can he still win this, actually? Maybe, but he has to get really lucky. I'd say, yeah, I'd say he definitely has to get really lucky. What's my Bellow hit chance? It's only a 77. Considering he has a decent amount of dodge, I could even fail my riposte, so I'm just gonna drop a command. Now there's no way that we fail the riposte, so if he decides to go Hansen, he's just gonna have an immediate heart attack. He can still win this, actually. He can definitely still win this. He's gonna go Hansen, he does 4 damage. Oh my god, he did 4 damage? Okay, he has a heart attack, but I'm at 199 stress. 1 act out and I'm done. I'm definitely gonna heal here. Hit myself at the floor. Oh god. Okay, I'm definitely gonna heal here. Oh, the crit absolution. Oh, there is no justice in this world for Mr. 910. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be calling him, 910. There is no justice for you. That was just wild. He almost got the kill, but the man-at-arms said nothing. And, that's a crit heal, though. That's a crit heal. The man-at-arms said nothing. Abomination almost oofed himself, but not quite. He almost oofed himself, but not quite. Well, I guess I'm just gonna keep spamming Beast Wild, and if he tries to hit into it, and this man-at-arms is just gonna start spamming that bellow again, and eventually he's gonna suffer the pain of that Beast File, either be it through the riposte or through the Beast File actually just hitting him, because that corpse is going away by round 12. So next round the flatulent is gone, totally gone. Another crit heal from that region, so that's a little bit more stress gone. Another crit on my abomination. Holy shit, I have another heart attack. Did he do 30 stress with that? Did he really do 30 stress with that? Jeez. I guess I have to heal myself here then. Yeah, I definitely have to heal myself. Is he actually gonna take this? Is he actually gonna win this? There is no way. I mean, he still has another lick wounds, so maybe he might just be able to take this match. I'm running out of command buffs, but I'm gonna drop another bellow here while I still have 1 command buff with the man-at-arms. And then next round we'll go for something else. Jeez, is he actually gonna win this? I mean, I'm down to 150 stress, which is definitely good for me. Yeah, it's definitely kind of a long way away. He needs to get more heavy crits, but he keeps getting them. He keeps getting those heavy crits. Okay, that's even more stress being applied, but yeah, with that bleeding, 1 more Hansarina might be gone. Okay, he has enough regen, but not really, because if I drop a bellow, okay, we're not gonna be able to go command here, or are we? What's the hit chance? 67. I can't go for something like that. I'm gonna force him to go lick wounds here, because he does have regen, but if I manage to apply the blight, he won't be able to. Yeah, he won't be able to just regen out of death's door, and yeah, that will be good for us. So, okay, he's down to 175 stress, and if he wants to go Hansari, he's gonna have to hit into a boss, and there's no more lick wounds for him. Fortunately for us, lick wounds are gone, and I can still... No, Beast Battle is gone as well. I guess I'll have to go for stuns, which is also fine. He's gonna go Hansari, gets 1 kill. God. Oh my goodness. Okay, 194 stress. Hey, Bond, don't do it. Okay, moves forward. I guess that doesn't mean anything at this point. Somehow got the 25% death kill on the man-at-arms, by the way. I feel like he would have done enough stress anyway, but finally he didn't get a crit on my A-bomb. And you know why that's meaningful, because I would have had a heart attack and I would be down to 175 stress instead of just falling to death's door now. But yeah, we get to go for this, we get a crit, and that's gonna be GG. That's gonna be GG to 910. I can't believe he almost snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, but I unfortunately didn't let him. I bet you were rooting for him, weren't you? Yeah, not today. 135J-Man's old gold team stands undefeated, as always. It's not undefeated, but it's definitely a really fun team to play with, and quite strong as well, as you saw from that. So I hope you guys enjoy that match, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.